Yo, what up, guys? Alright, so far we can log in, we can display the notes that a user has created, we can view our profile, we can log out, we can create notes, and then also view the details of the notes. So in this video, we're gonna focus on deleting the notes themselves. So firstly, we need to go to our API. So we need to come in here and create the method that we're going to use to delete nodes. Alright, so let's see, what do I need here? So down here, I think we're going to create a post, right? Just gonna name it delete. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, this is gonna take a parameter, or is it? Um, 1 second. Okay, so just gonna name this node ID. Alright, so let's come to the node repository, which is up here. So from here, we're gonna say at okay. So remember, this is deleting a record. It's similar to when you create a record. So we need to add that query parameter there. Sorry, the add transactional and modify. Okay, let's go to the service. Here we're gonna create a method to delete the node. By the way, this takes a parameter. So I'm gonna convert this, because it's coming in as a string. I'm gonna convert this into an integer, which is going to be node ID. Okay, So here we're gonna say nodes service node ID. Then here we're just gonna return new response entity. I'll just return a message saying node deleted HTTP node created, or should I say accepted. Alright, so again, we're not doing any validations here or anything like that, but this should be fine for now. Alright, so before doing anything, let's go to Postman and see if everything is working accordingly. So let's come here and duplicate this. Alright, so the only parameter we're gonna take here is node ID. So let's see, how many do we have? We currently should have 5. Yeah, we have 5, so let's just delete node number 5. Or maybe let's delete node number 2. Let's see. So here I'll put in 2. Okay, and then we're gonna need our API here, sorry, our access token. So I'm gonna go to authorization, then we're gonna paste that token we just copied just now. So I'm gonna click in here, select all, delete, and paste. Let's see. Could not send request. Okay, let's see. Oh, I forgot to run the application, so let's run it quickly. Okay, so the application is up and running. Let's test it again. I'm gonna send through. Okay, so it's telling me forbidden, so let's see. What could be the issue here? You have an error in your SQL syntax, blah 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 blah. Let's see, what did I do here? I removed the asterisk there, so I have to stop the application and run it again, and then once it's back up, we're gonna test again. One moment for me, please. Okay, application is up and running. Let's test again. Send. Okay, so it looks like we were able to delete the node successfully. Let me just double check and see. So far there's no errors. Alright, so we initially had 5 nodes. Let's refresh. Okay, as you can see, we only have 4 nodes now. Node number 2 is gone. like we did before. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using note ID, I can't use the user ID because if you use the user ID, as you can see, all of these nodes belong to the user ID. We can make a combination of the user ID and the note ID, but it's quite tedious. So in any case, I just went with deleting mainly the note ID. So looks like that works. So now let's continue with implementing that within the mobile app. Alright, so let's close this. Okay, so where are we now? Let's come back here. So now we're going to create a method down here. Wait. Right, and then this is going to take a parameter. Alright. So first things first, I'm going to do the same thing that I did here within the Create Notes app. I'm going to copy this URI here, unfortunately, and then we're just going to replace that with delete. So I was trying to avoid repeating myself so many times. I know I've done it with other things throughout the app, but you know, for some reason the application decided to just go against me. So set, okay, then we're going to call that string request object like we did in the previous one when we were creating nodes. So we're going to say string going to call that request, and then we're going to say equals to new string request. So we're going to say request dot method and post. Now if you're wondering why I'm not using this delete request method, is because this string request object for some reason doesn't want to work with this particular one. So it only works with post, which is why I'm going with the post request object instead of the delete one. So let's go URI and then say new response listener. Then down here we're going to call the error. Right here we're going to just toast any messages that we get from the application. Failed to delete note. Alright, and then let's see, in here what are we gonna do? So in here we're just gonna, we can log the information even though we're not gonna check it. .I, and then in here we can just say nodes detail activity. Just gonna copy this. Okay, so I'm gonna come back here to the create nodes and I'm just gonna copy this go to success method here, and then we're just gonna put it, let's see, and then here we're gonna paste it here. So this is going to be notes detail activity, then that is going to go to the success activity after this. Alright, so here we're going to go to success. So basically we're going to delete the note, then go to the success page, and then obviously when we click return it'll go to the main activity. Alright, what else do I need here? Alright, so now we need the parameters. Again, just make sure that you are before the the semicolon there. So we're going to add 2 brackets there again, and then we're going to say get params, and then we're going to call map so remember this needs to be note ID, and then we're going to put in the note ID. So remember we are getting this through the parameter here. So up here when we execute this method we will pass that through. Alright, I think that's it for the parameters. Okay, now what we need to do is hit the headers. So we're going to say get headers, and then we're practically going to do the exact same thing here. Again, authorization, last token. Alright, so I think for deleting nodes that should be it for the method. Now we need to hook it up to the delete button, so we have to come down here okay, and then this is where we will call that method, and then here we will pass in the node ID. So it's this one over here. Let's just make sure that we've got the spelling correct. Node ID here. Alright, so this is going to be sent through to the API. The API will then convert it into an actual an ID, an actual integer, pass it through, delete the node, and then we should get a response back. So I think let's see, that's the end of it there. Alright, so I'm gonna apply these changes and then test it on the app. If everything is correct, we should be able to delete nodes from the app itself. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video for the time being. When it comes back we will test and see. One moment for me please. Okay, so the app is done installing. Let me just pull it up. So as you can see, I'm gonna close it and then reopen it again. Alright, so as you can see, we only have about 4 nodes. So if I click study plan, and I'm gonna click delete, doesn't seem like it's working. No errors here so far. Logcat, let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like it's functioning. Okay, delete button. Okay. That should be fine. For some reason it's not responding. Okay, the delete button is not responding. Okay, let's go back to the app. You know what, let me do this. Let me reinstall it again. It's not giving any errors. Let's see, what's this? Alright, I've reinstalled it again. Okay, let me try again. Yeah, nothing's happening. Okay, let's stop it. Okay, public void delete nodes string, send in the token. Length long, go to success. Delete nodes. Okay. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's happening, but for some reason when clicking this button it doesn't do anything. Okay, I'm gonna try and see if this toast message will show when I click it. Okay, so when the toast is appearing, so the button is functional. So why is it not? Okay, 1 second for me, please. Alright guys, I'm back. Okay, so at the bottom here of this string request object, I forgot to add it to the queue. So remember, I have to add it here and say request queue.add, and then obviously we have to add the request. Apologies for that, it does happen. Alright, so hopefully now it will work. Let me apply the changes and then let's test again. So I'm gonna open application here. In fact, the one other thing I need to do, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna just click, wait, let me go back again. I wanna delete this one. Still nothing happening. Failed to delete note. Okay. VIP note delete. Okay. 403. Why are we getting a 403? Okay, we're getting a 403 again, so I need to check as to why that is. Spelling should be the same. Okay, HTTP 192.168 API VI node 1. Okay. Sending the authority. Node ID. Oh man, and we were doing so well. Hold on. Okay, node ID for method parameter type string is not presented. Okay, so this is not coming through. I want to see something. Alright, so I want to try this again. I want to see if we are getting this ID or not. Okay. Alright guys, okay, so it looks like it was another spelling mistake. So instead of saying note ID, I said noted ID, which is one of the reasons why our API gave this error and we were not able to delete the node. So I'm just going to remove that. So it's note ID, and yeah, so I'm going to apply the changes. Let's test again and see if now we can do it or not. So I created another test node while we were offline, so that's the one we will test with now. So we will delete this one once the application is done installing. One moment for me please. Okay, the app is up and running, so let's test again. So I'm going to click note number 6 and then let's click delete. Okay, looks like it's working. Click return. We back at our our dashboard. I'm going to click again on note number 3, delete that one, return. Now we have 3 nodes left. If you check the database, it should be the same. So there you go. Now we have 3 nodes. So again, one last time, let's just create another one. Create. Node created successfully, return. And now we have node number 7. I'm going to click on it, delete. then we should be able to return again, and now we have 5 nodes left. Okay, so thankfully it looks like it worked. Obviously, um, um, we hit a couple of what you call it, issues there, but so far we can create view nodes and delete them. And then what else do we need? So I think the last video should be the registration part. Everything else is working fine. But yeah, so I think the last video should be when we create register a new user on the app. So obviously, yeah, I think I'll try that in all in one video. But yeah, again guys, thanks again for watching, and then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you guys within the next video. Cheers for now.